everyone, Narelle here, and today I am back with another base page, and this time we're doing the tiger page. So yesterday's video we did the cheetah page, and that was a base page that I finished off, and now I'm going to finish off the tiger page. So just as a refresher, this is the page, and I will have a link below for my initial video of what are base pages and how to make them. And I've got a whole folder of base pages, and if you want to see that folder, go back to the original base page video or the one I posted yesterday on the cheetah, and I quickly flicked through all the base pages that I created some time ago. And now I'm going to do a series of using those base pages. So this is the second video in the series, and we're going to complete the tiger page. So really simple, this page. It's just a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, 2 strips of patterned paper, and I'm pretty sure they are 4 inches wide. So wait, if I put this ruler around the right way, it's 4 by 12, 2 pieces of patterned paper in an L shape, and we are going to use that today for our layout. And I just have a couple of tiger pictures. Now I'm not going to use this one. It's a close-up, but he was moving and blurry, so that's not going to make the cut today. And I'm just going to do a grid like I did on yesterday's layout, nice and simple, and just a few embellishments. So that's basically what I'm doing. Now I have these 3 tigers that I cut out from a large piece of patterned paper, and it just had these large animals all over it. So I cut 3 out. I'm going to fussy cut them out and use them as embellishments on the page as well. Now I also had some digital alphabet from Knitwit Collections that I was going to use on the cheetah page, but it was just the wrong colours. So I'm going to use it on today's page because it's the right sort of colours for this layout, even though the prints are other animals. So there's a giraffe print and a zebra print, but they're the colours that will work. So I'll show you those in a minute. I've printed some of them out ready to cut out. I've also used a couple of elements. I will be using a couple of elements from the Knitwit Collections Hullabazoo collection, digital collection, and I've selected a few graphics out of here and printed them. I'm also going to cut them out and use them on the layouts. It's going to have a slightly different feel to this layout to yesterday's one. So these are the digital elements that I printed out. Please don't feed the animals. Elephants, tigers and giraffes. I picked that because it's got like tigers on it. And then just a few word sentiments that they had in the kit, where the wild things are zoorific and trip to the zoo. Now these elements, when they're digital elements, you can resize them to whatever size you want. So all I do is open a Word document, insert the pictures, so like you do any picture in a Word document, and then when you click on it, you can see how big it is. If you've got your rulers set up, you can see how big it is roughly, or you can double click on it, and in the top bar of Word it opens up the exact size of the image. So then I sort of get my ruler out and go, well, that's a little tall for what I want, so if I shrink it down to about this size, then that's sort of how big it will fit on my page, and yeah, and then size it accordingly. So for this one, I looked at the height. It was much bigger than this. I think it was like 5 inches, and I looked at it and went, oh, 5 inches, that's like huge. I don't want that big a embellishment for this sign. So I shrunk it down to 3.5, I think it is. So I put 3.5 in, and that just made it a bit smaller, and that will work perfectly as a little embellishment on the page. Whereas this one, I wanted that to be a little bit bigger, so I don't think I'd change that from the original size. So that is roughly 5.5 tall. So that's an easy way with your digital elements to know how big they are, because it's hard to tell when you put them in a Word document. It's like, well, I don't really know how big that is, especially when you're used to using physical embellishments and you look at the pack and you go, okay, so that I know how big that is, where that's going to fit on the page. With the digital element, you don't have that same sort of concept, so it's really handy to put them in Word double click to get what size they are, and then resize them. And resizing is easy. Just drag a corner down and with your mouse, and resizing is easy to do that way. Or if you want more precise measurement, then in the little box at the top where it's got the sizes, you just type in there what size you want. Alright, so really, really easy. I love digital elements for that. I can make them as big or as small as you want. Now this is my heading, kitty. And yeah, I know I've got the I and the K around back to front, but I was just choosing them off all the images and inserting that one, and I inserted T twice, so that's going to be my heading, kitty, because I'm pretty sure my daughter was 3 at the time we went to the zoo, and she just said big kitty because she didn't know it was called a tiger, so the title's going to be kitty. Now I could have used big as well, except when I looked at the alphabet, wrong one, hang on. When I looked at the alphabet, one of the letters, and I'm pretty sure it was the G, was in black and white. And you are not allowed to recolor these images. That is a copyright infringement. You have to use the images as they are. You can resize them. You can't recolor them. So I didn't want a black and white letter in my heading. It just didn't work, so I decided to just do kitty. And then in the in this collection there was colored buttons down here, so I just printed out a few of those. I think I made one a bit bigger and shrunk another one or something, and yeah, they're going to be my embellishments as well, so I just got to cut them out. And then I printed out this fence. So in the collection there's 2 fences. There's one here, it's like a gate with the word zoo on it. I know it's probably a little bit hard to see, and I hope that's not glaring with my lights, but there's a gate with, it's got greenery up it and the word zoo. And there's this one here, which is just a wrought iron fence. So I printed this one out and I made it quite big, and you're probably going to go, what is that and where are you going to use it? Now I put the cheetah page away, but if you look at yesterday's video, I had some die cut bulrushes down the bottom of the bottom picture. Sorry. So I thought I'd repeat a similar thing for this layout, but use the gate. So I'm going to cut that out. Now I'm not going to use the whole thing, and I may only use this top row, that bar, and nothing below it. Depends how much I want to cut out. If I want to get the X-Acto knife or those horrible knives that I hate using because they're really dangerous, if I want to get one of them out and cut out these rectangles, then I will, and then I'll use that bar and above it, but I'm definitely not going to use this part of the gate. And the idea will be to put it I'll probably put him at the top and him at the bottom, so then I can sit the cutout gate here, fence here, so it looks like they're in a zoo, and it suits the page a little bit because it's that zoo theme. And then I have all the coloured cardstock that matches this page. So I've got the Cajun Craze, the Bumblebee, and the Evening Evergreen cardstocks, because they're the colours that are in the patterned paper, and I can use them for die cutting or anything. And then I've got all these embellishments that I picked out of my supplies that were just the right colours for the layout, not the mood and theme, just the colours. So if you want to see these in more detail, take a look at yesterday's cheetah video and using base pages, and you'll be able to see all those. So I haven't planned what's going to go where. I'm going to go and do that now, put everything in its place, and then come back and glue everything down and finish the page off. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back, and I have die cut up all my tigers and all my bits and pieces. So now we're going to assemble the page. I'm going to start out by mounting my 2 photos onto a piece of cardstock first, just to lift them up off the page visually, because this is going to be quite a busy page and they're going to get lost in all the embellishments. So I just cut this cardstock to 6.5 roughly by 8.25. Maybe I should have measured it properly. I sort of just went, yeah, that's about right. But anyone who knows me knows that's how I roll. I very rarely measure anything. So what I'm going to do first is put the yellow cardstock down, because it's going to move around when I'm trying to put the photos on it, and that really frustrates me. So I'm just going to use these as a placeholder and then go back and add more glue later once everything is in place. And I don't put the glue right to the edge because I do want to be able to tuck things under at times. Now I'm going to use my T-ruler to get this straight, because I noticed on a page I did yesterday it was a little bit crooked, so yeah, no. But again, anyone knows me knows that's nothing out of the ordinary, and I'm thinking I want it about there. Again, I didn't measure it, I'm just eyeballing it. That looks good, why not go with it? Okay, so now our lovely Tigers. So this base page, oh gosh, I'm all clumsy. This base page, like yesterday's cheetah one, is a lot more themed than a normal base page. So the idea behind base pages is that you create just a basic layout of your page of patterned papers. Sorry if my head gets in the way. So it's ready to come and add photos to and embellishments to. Now the idea behind when you make base pages is that you have no idea what the page is going to be used for. You don't know the theme, you don't know what the photos are, you don't know what your embellishments are going to be. The base pages are purely for quick scrapping, so that when you feel like scrapping, you find a photo and you go, oh, I haven't scrapped that one, let's scrap that one. Then all you need to do is find a embellishments that go with your photo and the your title and stuff, and then pick a base page sorry, that you've already done that will go with it. So that's why base pages are normally not this themed, because it's a little bit more restrictive. But you could use this paper, saying that, something that's themed like this, you could use for a kid's birthday party or something. Alright, so I've grabbed a few bits and pieces and I'm been playing with placement, and I'm pretty sure I wanted to do something like this. I'm just gonna pop things in place where I thought I wanted them to go. And here's my cute fence. So I did cut this out. I got the X-Acto knife out, and I didn't do a very good job. Those things scare me. So there's a bit, you know, I need to trim a bit neater there. And I find they take a long time. So if I could have been bothered rearranging my desk, I probably should have brought out my scan and cut, because it would have been so much easier. But I think I need to rearrange my space, because, you know, typical crafting problem, we never have enough space. So when I want to bring out my scan and cut, it's like I've got to rearrange my whole desk, and sometimes that's just can't be bothered doing that, you know. It's on the no, not going to happen today, can't be bothered today. But I need to come up with a permanent solution, because I would like to use it a lot. Alright, so there's our fence. So our little tiger, he's not in jail, he's at the zoo. So we've got a trip to the zoo here, and then I think I wanted this, because I've got scallops up here. I thought I'd put this yellow scallop down here. And then I did just have somewhere, and I probably lost it, my little journaling strip. Did I just lose that? Oh, I've been losing stuff everywhere. I've got a bit of paper. Oh, there he is. Stop looking. Bit of paper. Journaling goes here. Journaling goes here. So that I know roughly where my journaling is going to sit. My title. Kitty. And I'm hoping that's not going to get lost in the pattern papers. It's going to go over the photo a little bit. And like you can see on these, like that's a giraffe print. That's a tiger. That's a leopard, cheetah, something like that. This looks like a zebra. Sort of could be a zebra, sort of could be a tiger. So even though they're different animal prints, they still go with the page because it's the same colours. I'm just going to pop some buttons up there. That one, oh my gosh, I didn't cut that very well. Weird looking circle. I'll tuck that under there so it's not noticeable. Alright, and then on this side, I want where the wild things are. And I've got this cute tiger. Let me put this here first. So I've sort of not prearranged, I sort of had to play around to work out where I wanted everything. And because he's missing his front legs, poor darling. That's where he was on the paper. He was on the edge of the paper. I'm going to sit him there on top so you don't see his legs are missing. And the other two, I'm going to go here as well. Something like this. So I'm putting my buttons that I cut out into clusters. So I've got 2 there and a brad, 2 here and a brad, and then I've got 2 here. And I think that's going to have to go on top there. That's probably better. And a brad. And that basically is the page. So it's definitely busier than the page I did yesterday, if you want to go back and look at that video. But I think that looks okay. Cool. So now we glue everything down. So even though when you first look at the base page, you go, that paper's really busy, I don't want to see all that paper. This one's not too bad because they are only 4-inch strips of pattern paper, but they are busy papers. In the end, once you get everything on the page, they're not that busy because you don't see it all. So you only see a little bit of this pattern down here and really not that much of that pattern paper either. Alright, so now I'm going to glue everything in place. I will probably speed this up while I'm gluing everything down. there's the finished page. So we've got lots of digital elements, wish I could talk, that I've printed out and then cut out. And the good thing about this title is it's a bit, like it's not neat, tidy, uniform. It's a bit whimsical, I guess is the word. So it doesn't matter if I didn't get it perfectly lined up, perfectly straight. It's a bit uneven, it doesn't matter because it goes with the mood and feel of the title. And even though they're different animal prints, they still suit the photos perfectly fine. So I've got the repeating clusters of the buttons and a brad here, here and here. So that's my triangle to draw the eye across or down the page and then back across. And yeah, and that's the page. Really easy to use base pages. Once you start using them, you will find they're lots of fun. And I tend to create base pages when I want to do scrapping, but I can't be bothered getting the photos printed or matching the embellishments and trying to find everything I need for a page, but I want to do something. So I'll just grab some coordinating papers, cut them in different ways and make base pages. And it's really, really fun. It gets you scrapping without having to worry about the finer details. So yeah, have a go at base pages, and I'd love to know if you create any and if you use them, what you think about them. And I have several Facebook groups as well regarding about scrapping, so I'll link them below. So if you want to jump in to those groups and share your creations, you are more than welcome to. And I will link below all the relevant videos. I'll link to Knitwit collections for the digital elements and whatever I can think of that is relevant to this layout. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what I have done, then like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when I do my next video. And yeah, I'll see you again soon. Bye.